Hello everyone and welcome back to my videos. Well, one of them anyway. This is Time Traveller. I tried uploading some videos to YouTube a little while ago, but that didn't go very well. My connection dropped when I was trying to transfer the files of me driving down the M25, which is a motorway in Britain. But of course, that didn't happen, unfortunately. Now, like before, I am in a BMW 316i. It's a 1.7 or a 1.8. I'm pretty sure it's a 1.8. I don't think it's got turbo because when I put my foot down, it doesn't really give too much of a grunt. As you can obviously tell, I am driving. I started the recording while I was stopped, so I'm actually allowed to do that. So I am just headed to a McDonald's to get myself something to eat. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying sitting there because I can't turn the camera around. Well, I could, but then you'd see my face and you wouldn't see anything else. Which I think isn't really the point of video like this. You need to see what you're doing. So anyway, just driving through the country lanes. The speed limit, they do say you can do up to 60, but I personally think that if you're going to do 60 on wet roads like this, you're either a maniac or you've got a really good sports car, because 9 times out of 10, if you're driving that kind of vehicle in these kind of conditions, you just don't want to do that. You know, you could end up skidding out, you could end up throwing the back end out and smashing into someone, you could end up killing someone. That's something else. In driving, I've learned that you can get killed very quickly and very easily if someone's not paying attention. I'll have to slow down here because he's turning. He or she. I don't know if it's a he, but for the purposes of this, I'll call it a he. So yeah, I haven't done really much, to be fair. If I go quiet, it's because I have to concentrate on the road ahead and make sure that, well, number one, I'm not going to endanger myself or anyone else, but point two, more importantly, like for example, the car that you may not have seen, some people drive incredibly recklessly, which is not the done thing, but what can you do? You can't stop people from doing things like that. So, yeah. That's just the way it goes, I suppose. So anyway, on my trip now, it should take me about, give or take 15 minutes from the top of this hill. Whoa! I don't know if you can, no, you can't see that, but there was a tractor on the other side of the road. But if I hadn't been paying attention, I would have got myself steamrolled by. Steamrolled. That's actually quite a funny term, isn't it? So, if you enjoyed my video, or you like the content, or you want to see more of it, you know, as is kind of standard with YouTube, hit the like button, and if you want to be notified every time I post a video, then feel free to subscribe to the channel. But of course, don't do that if you don't want to. You know, it's up to you what you do. Oh dear. You couldn't have waited. You just had to get in front of me. Some people on the road make you think, how did you ever get your license? But I suppose that's like in every country. How on earth did they ever get their licenses? Because, quite frankly, a lot of these people should never have had driving licenses in the first place. Because either they're in danger to themselves or others. Now, I see quite a lot of cars on the road. Quite a lot of them are Jeeps, Range Rovers, and sometimes Audis. Well, they say something a bit inaccurate. They say that the worst drivers on the road are Audi drivers and Land Rovers, when I personally think no one's a bad driver until you put them in a car that's not suitable for them. So, for example, I had a smart car once, and I'm a bit too, I suppose, yeah, I'm a bit too big for a smart car. I'm a bit too big for a smart car, and you know, having another person next to me in a smart car, it didn't really work, really. Setting the cruise control because give my foot a bit of a breather. Now, on a road like this, you would have thought that, you know, people would just go really, really fast, but I don't see any reason in it. If you've left at home in plenty of time to do your job, no matter what that may be, then it's fine, isn't it? Oh, I've got a Toyota right up behind me. I don't think he understands that I've got this recording, so if he hits me from behind, or if he gets in front of me and slams his brakes on, then I'll have the video evidence to show I'm not at fault, quite frankly. And the lights are red. Now, I'm not an expert with music, so I can't play you anything. If I do manage to find some music to entertain you with, I will. Didn't realise it was my turn. Get up to speed. There we go. Not disturbing the flow of traffic that way. That's not me tilting the camera, by the way. That's the wonkiness of the road and everything. But yeah, I really enjoy driving. It's one of my well, I can't say favourite pastimes, can I? Because normally a favourite pastime is something that doesn't cost any money, or that costs fairly minimal money. But I really enjoy it. I honestly really enjoy it. It's one of those things which makes you really, I suppose, happy. I suppose it gets you from A to B. And as long as you're doing it well within the rules, you're keeping an eye on the road ahead, you're keeping an eye on any potential hazards and so on, then there's no consequence, is there? As long as you keep an eye on, you know, for example, on this road here, I can see one hazard, and that's the van on the other side, the taxi on the other side of the road. He could easily, very quickly and very sharply turn against me. There was a blue something or other. I don't know them in terms. These people could jump out in the middle of the road, or you could have a kid that runs in the middle of the road. You just don't know what you're going to meet on the road. That's the same for all countries. You just don't know what you're going to meet. You don't know the kind of people you're going to talk to, and so on. Now, a little while ago, I won't say this person's name, but a little while ago, I was considering moving to America. I was considering it, but of course, given the fact that I need my money the way it is, and I don't think, now I could be wrong, but I don't think America has the benefit system in the same way that we do in England, because the benefit system in England goes that you have to show the reasons as to why you think that above all else you cannot hold down any form of employment. You need to show well, proof, I suppose. if you're a genuine claimant and you just genuinely applying for the benefit and so on, then there's no harm, because you'll get paid the money that you're entitled to. Maybe not the money you should be having, but the money you're entitled to. No, that doesn't make any sense. But if you're entitled to it, then you're allowed to use it, is what I think. So I decided to pour some of my benefit money and some of my father's money into buying a car when I was able to pass my test. And yeah, that's what I basically did. So I'm currently in a place called Red Hill I think Red Hill's in Surrey. I could be wrong, but last I checked, Red Hill was in Surrey. Now, naturally, I see a whole load of cars: Fords, Peugeots, Seat, Vauxhall. You'd know Vauxhall is Opel everywhere else. For some reason, they call themselves Vauxhall here. I don't have a clue why. Honda, VW, Renault, Audi, Mini, Hyundai, Lexus. So yeah, you can see all sorts of different cars on the road. Isuzu, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Isuzu. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm sorry if it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I don't drive like an idiot, in my opinion. I drive quite sensibly and with a lot of respect for the other road users, because at the end of the day, I'm not the only one in the country, and I'm not the only one who has the control over something that, quite frankly, a car like what I'm driving now can be a lethal killing machine. I won't use it ever for that, deliberately, but I don't have any wish to. Now, I also managed to find a phrase on the internet, which on the Urban Dictionary, that basically said how I view opinions and so on. I'm just going to have to say it again. Egalitarian, I think it's called. Egalitarian or something. Basically, it stands for no matter what race, religion, whether you're gay, bi, whatever, it's all the same to me. You're a human being above all else. So why shouldn't I treat you as anything other than a human being? It's the done thing. If you treat people with respect and with dignity, you would hope that they would do the same back to you. When I get into the McDonald's queue line, I'll have to pause recording, but I will then make another recording straight away afterwards, just to show that I am still driving. But I won't obviously press the record button unless I'm actually, I won't hit the record button unless I'm stopped, is what I was trying to say. Problems with my car, I may as well say if I've ever had any. I personally haven't had a problem with my particular car, apart from maybe the brake servo needs doing. But that's just life, Basically, as far as I understand it, the brake servo is what makes your brake pedals soft. This guy's eager to get past me. So yeah, quite a lot of people assume that brake servos are really, really expensive and so on. I took a look on eBay and some of them are like £200, £250, so it's not all bad. My word, the line at McDonald's seems to be really quite big again. But I don't think it's going to take that long to get through it, to be honest. They're doing quite a clever ship, I think. Oh no, I'll go round, because I've got a feeling that he's going to tell the cars to turn around, or at least I will. Primarily because I think it's the done thing, you know, and you get a bit more time with me, I suppose. So yeah. Right, I'm going to use this as a turning circle. Alright, not a good one, but there we go. Okay. That Nissan Micra came back at the wrong moment, because now I'm basically stuck, waiting for the traffic to let me go. So here we are. I have arrived, and I'm just going to wait to see what he's going to say to me. He's saying to me slow down and stop, so I'm going to slow down and stop. So yeah, this is the current state of play with McDonald's in the United Kingdom. I don't know if she'll ask me to open my window and all that sort of stuff, but I don't have a problem with that. Oh, she's coming to the window. Hold on.
About
Good
40
afternoon.
minutes if you have time.
No problem at all.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I'm not going to take any from the other side now. We've got a queue.
Okay.
So you just suddenly started to get busy.
Well, it's McDonald's. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's not as long a queue as before. It's only single through the second section. It was double before. But
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think it was a bit tricky when it was double before.
Well, we have got everything on at the moment.
Everything.
Even the flurries.
Bloody hell! Nice. It's nice to hear. Well, they're talking about opening more stuff up from next week, aren't they? It is. Basically, she just came to tell me, as I don't know if you heard, but it's a 40-minute wait, and that's not a problem. I don't mind. If it's 40 minutes, what consequence is that? I get hot food, and she gets, you know, people coming in to see them. Oh, mounting the curb while I'm at it. So yeah, we're currently sat behind a Ford Galaxy. It's single file traffic, and they've got literally everything on. Even the McFlurries, which is quite a surprise to hear. I'm sorry if this doesn't entertain you, staring at the back of a Ford Galaxy with a license plate on it, but there's literally nothing I can do. I would ease myself forward or whatever, but I can't ease myself forward until they've getting the orders out, I guess. Yeah, I didn't quite expect to be here today. I kind of expected to be probably at Morrison's, I'd say, but I guess the pull of McDonald's was a bit too strong. So I don't mind waiting. That's one of the things about me. If I have to queue for something, I'm not going to argue about it, because eventually, the thing with McDonald's and so on is, eventually you become first. So in the queue line. So yeah. The life and times of Time Traveller. I do have a actual real name, but of course I don't want to say my real name in case, you know, people come after me and want to tear me apart and all this garbage. So I've got biscuits in the car, Bourbons. I'm going to have one of these now, I think. Oh. Oh. Weird old beat from the car, wouldn't it? I'm sorry if I'm eating a Bourbon, but what else are you going to do? You know? So here I am, stuck in a McDonald's drive-through. I didn't want to drive to Gatwick because I figured that Gatwick would be more busier than this one. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I normally think. Yeah, a fun fact about this car is that if you drive it reasonably, it can return quite nice miles per gallon. I often get in the sort of like the early 30s in terms of miles per gallon, and it's not bad for a 1.8. Currently it sits at 239 miles until I need to fill up a tank, but credit where credit's due. BMW did a really good car with this. I could have a start-stop button installed, but that would probably annoy the hell out of me. But at the end of the day, it gives you cheaper insurance, so I don't know. I'm not going to get too close to this Ford Galaxy, because if they need to reverse for any reason, I'm basically scuppered. Yeah. I'm not even forcing the car into neutral or holding the handbrake up. This is literally how well she can sit without needing to, basically without needing to do anything. I think I'll clear the windscreen again. I never used to understand why you need to do it 3 times though. So far in this recording, we've just gone past the 25.5 minutes mark. What is there to talk about? I guess there's a lot to talk about if you're a politician, which I'm not, so I don't have any right to talk about that sort of stuff. And I could talk about the way things have been recently with the tightening of everything in the UK and all the rest of it, but that just made me miserable, to be fair. Utter miserable. So I'm not going to do that. Well, apparently, now I don't know how true this is, but apparently one of the medications that can be used as a treatment for the current situation, I'm not going to say what, just begins with a C. That's all you're going to get, because I don't want this video flagged by the National Health Service and all the other government people and say I can't monetize it because I'm not saying facts. But apparently I was reading on the news that ibuprofen, which is a painkiller, can be used for treatment for COVID. Oh, sorry, I nearly said it then, didn't I? Can be used as a treatment for the current situation, the current issue that the world is facing. Which, of course, is not good, but that's just, at the end of the day, that's just life, I guess. You can't dictate what happens, because it just happens with or without your permission. That's just the way the world is, unfortunately. So, I was mulling over something actually the other day. Now, I'm not religious, before we get into this, because I don't want people slamming my video and saying, oh, you're incorrect this, you're going to this place when you die, etc. Please save your time, save your comment. I understand your point, but it's just a theory. Apparently it's a perfectly logical theory from someone who is a non-biased person who has had time to look at my evidence and say, well, it seems plausible, but of course it's not plausible, if you get my meaning. So, my theory goes like this. What if, now this is only a what if, again, okay, because I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not religious, I don't belong to any faith, I'm not saying any faith is better than the other faith, I'm not saying this is the truth. All I'm saying is this is what I understand from religion, just with a bit of a spin thanks to popular media, such as films, TV shows, and so on. So, basically it goes like this. What if, again, this is just a what if, but what if planet Earth itself is the Garden of Eden, and everyone who leaves planet Earth, so for instance goes into outer space and come back, people have been said that, you know, humans in general aren't supposed to go into outer space because we didn't have the means to when we were very first here. So if you're religious, that is, or even if you're not religious, you know, if you're not religious and you think that if you're not religious and you think, say for example, we all came from monkeys, or if you're one of these people who thinks we came from a space rock, then isn't it plausible that You know, we're not supposed to be able to do space rockets and so forth. And isn't it plausible that because we're not supposed to do space rockets and so on, that every time we go into outer space, we have a issue where the astronauts that come back, they're never the same. They're never the same as when they first go up there. Extreme velocity gets them out of the planet through, you know, burning oxygen and hydrogen, as far as I understand it. And quite literally, my sort of theory is, wouldn't planet Earth be more suited to be called the Garden of Eden, primarily because of its sort of like nature and everything about it? And that's why in the cosmos you've got black holes, neutron stars, asteroids, and all the rest of it that, quite frankly, will tear us to pieces in no time flat. Again, it's just speculation. Like I say, I'm not an expert on religion, and I am not an expert on anything like that. So if you're offended or you don't like that, then you don't have to watch this video. You know, you had a choice what you clicked on when you clicked on my YouTube video, if this goes live, that is. At the end of the day, you know, at the end of it all, I don't see why planet Earth should be separated into first world, second world, third world, fourth world, fifth world, and so on. I don't know if 2, 4, and 5 exist, but I know that the first world and the third world apparently exist. But it all depends on your own point of view. It really, really does. And I know I took that phrase from Star Wars, but I can see sense in it. Varies greatly on how you view things. Because if you view things like, I don't know, let's say you view things on the standpoint of, oh, I believe this, this, and this. Oh, and I believe this, this, and this. Then that's your opinion. That's your point of view. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own worldview. And everyone's entitled, as far as I'm concerned, everyone is entitled to whatever they want to believe. But of course, you know, people are not necessarily prevented, but people are streamlined, I suppose, into what people want to believe, you know. That's why you've got, I don't know, the world religions like Christianity and all the rest of them. I don't know anything about, well, I claim to not know much about Christianity, even though when I was at school many years ago, I went to a religious school by some stretch of the imagination, and I was almost like indoctrinated, I suppose, basically forced to believe it and all the rest of it. Now that's not a fair way to do things in my book, you know, because people can say and do whatever they want, you know. It doesn't matter what people say, what people do. What matters is what you end up doing yourself. So anyway, just stuck in McDonald's drive-thru. I've got a ketchup sachet pot here that I might start eating in a minute because I'm getting really hungry. I can't exactly leave the car because I'm in a queue. If I could, I would, but obviously that would really annoy the people around me. If I walked into McDonald's and said, "Can I use the bathroom?" they probably would say no. Just taking a look at some of the things that they've put up. Let's see. We're taking extra steps to help you, our customers, and our okay, start again, time traveler. Delivery partners. We're taking extra steps to help keep you, our people, and our customers safe. Please show your phone in order for pickup. Well, that sounds fair. Our drive-through lane is open, but the restaurant is closed for now. Well, that sounds fair. You know, it does actually sound fair to me. What with the situation the way it is, and people wearing masks and all the rest of it. Fair's fair. Oh. We're getting closer. There's a brand new Nissan Qashqai next door to the Ford Galaxy. That's quite neat. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to pause the recording here. When I manage to get my food and eat it, then I'll resume the video afterwards, because I can imagine hearing me eating a bourbon is not really pleasant for you. So yeah, I understand if you don't like it, so that's not a problem. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Hello everyone, welcome back to the video. I've literally only just finished my McDonald's. I am now turning around in Tollgate Avenue because I don't really fancy going the long way around. Parking sensors are nice if they work, but you know, they don't work all the time. So here we are. I'm now going to go towards Morrison's in Caterham. In case you hadn't guessed, that's basically where I live. That's the town of which I live in. Some people are just rude, like that guy who went past me in the Audi. Didn't even say thank you. Didn't even flash his lights. It costs nothing to have manners, but I guess sometimes people don't want to be seen as having manners or consideration for others. Ah well, his loss. See, that's the thing with when you're on the road, is that you've basically got to throw away all your personal feelings about everyone else, literally everyone, including your own family, because you might see them on the road and they might do something incredibly stupid in front of you, and you're like, what did you do that for? So in effect, what I say is just be careful. I could mix it up a bit and go via the hospital route, but I'm not sure. Nah, I better not. I'll go on the country route with you guys tomorrow or something. No, maybe Friday. That's going to be a long video. I'm going to try and do a long video then. One that's going to be about, don't know. I might try driving up to Birmingham, which I've never done before. I've never ever driven up to Birmingham before, so it might be nice to have a try doing that. Or maybe next week when I've got a bit of money. Sorry, I've got a bit of cough ever since I finished that McDonald's. The wind noise in the car is not too bad. To be honest, I hear the engine more than I do the actual wind, but it's not too bad. And the miles per gallon's pretty good. It's not too bad, I suppose. Slowing down to 30 because it's a 30 mile an hour zone coming up. Now, this is the common misconception, is people assume because I'm driving a BMW that I should be driving it like an idiot. The short version is I'm not going to do that. Because if I do that, then I lose my license, I lose the car, and I could end up stranded wherever I might be. And I don't want that. Kind of obviously. I've got to make sure that I drive sensibly. This is why, I mean, the police have only ever pulled me over twice. Once was because I was going a little too fast in a Hyundai Sonata down the A3, or up the A3, depending on your viewpoint. And the other point was, the other time they pulled me over was because I drove for literally an entire night. So we're talking from about 11 o'clock right the way through to 6 the following morning, looking for a McDonald's. When I couldn't find one, I was literally on my way home. They pulled me over because there was nothing wrong with my driving, they said. It was just the reason that I was out so early in the morning that they were a bit concerned that I had, I could be anyone. I basically explained to them that I'd been looking for a McDonald's, and I said, I know it sounds strange, but that's what I've been doing. And they said, no, that doesn't sound strange to me at all. The thing is, we just want to make sure that everyone on the road is safe, and your priority is just as important as everybody else's. So, while they didn't say that, they basically said that they checked my license, checked my car, checked the insurance. I think they looked in to see if I had any alcohol in the car, which I didn't at the time. I've got a friend's bottle of WKD in the car that she finished. It's completely empty, but whoa, hang on. Whoa. That Range Rover you see there, the one in red, basically cut me up. Which, while not very nice, what can you do? So I am now going to try and get past this Honda and ease over into the right hand lane. Here we go, red light. Must obey the law. So yeah, those are the only 2 times that I've been pulled over by the police. I've got no other points on my license. Wrong words. Sorry. I don't have any points on my license, and I don't want there to be. If, of course, I've done something majorly wrong, and, I'm the one at fault for it, then of course, by all means. But I try and drive sensibly and with a sense of, this is how you should drive, I suppose. Go on. See, I have no hesitation to let buses go, Whereas other people would think BMW drivers are supposed to, you know, whiz round them and all sorts. But I don't do that. I seriously don't do that. Because what's the point in racing around a bus when there could be anything around them? You know, there could be people, children, elderly, could be any one of those sorts of people. So it's best to minimise risk and say, if you can't drive, don't drive, basically, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah. Actually, I don't think I'll go to Morrison's today because I've got this camera in the car or this smartphone rather. This video and all the other videos have been taken on a Samsung Galaxy S20 5G. I got the new tech thanks to Sky because they allowed me to have a contract, which basically means that when I can't pay one bill, I pay two bills in 1 month, which, while expensive, you know, if I have to miss one of the payments for any reason, they'll make that happen, I suppose. So yeah, let's see. See, there's a pedestrian on the left-hand side that I can see. Now, she could have run out in front of the road, but she didn't. But she was a potential hazard because, for all I know, she might slip into the road. She might, you know, break her ankle. I don't know anything of what she might do. So, almost every time you have a car and you're driving it, you will come across hazards pretty much all the time. There's a guy on the left next door to the petrol station, and there could be a car that comes out from that petrol station. I didn't see that woman behind the car, but I wasn't going fast enough to really worry. I was going 25 miles an hour. But had I been going any faster and she steps out, if I'd been going 40 and I hit her, she's dead. So, you know, I don't want to cause someone's death. That is something I just simply do not want to do. Now, there's a Mercedes behind me, KU14YBY. Sorry to call you out here, buddy, but you're basically right up my backside. But I have literally no interest in speeding. I might have a reasonable car, yeah. I might have one that's a 1.8 and all the rest of it, and it might be able to go quick. But what's the point in putting your foot flat to the floor and causing an accident or causing someone's death? There's literally no point, because if you do that, you're likely to get stopped, arrested. Your conscience will never let you live it down. That's something that you will remember, is no matter what you do and no matter how you say it, your conscience will always say to you, I killed person X, or I did this, or I did the other. So it's best to just not open that can of worms and just say, you know, stick to the speed limit, stick to what you're supposed to do. And if the speed limit is too fast for the road, i.e., you know, I'm going 30 miles an hour at the moment, now 25, but that's because the road has become more narrow, more difficult to manoeuvre, and so on. So, normally, driving instructors, like the one I had, he was a really nice chap. I hope he doesn't mind me saying his first name, but his name was Colin, and I think he was part of, I can't remember the driving school, but anyway, he helped teach me everything I needed to know about driving. I had learned from someone called again I can't remember her name, but it was a lady and she was part of first class driving. So she had a Citroen DS3 when I was there. Okay, so I've got a van behind me now, a Mercedes van, lock right, seems to be what's written on it. And again, like I said before, I have no interest in speeding whatsoever. If someone wants to drive like an idiot behind me, let them. Because I'm not the one who's going to lose my license over it. I'm not the one who's going to be done for tailgating. And I am seriously not going to be the one who ends up without his license because he didn't do something that the other drivers wanted him to do. Because the way that some people want you to drive nowadays, I mean, look at that guy, he's flying up the road. That's reckless and wrong. I passed my driving test in April 7th, 2017. Granted, that was not long ago. But, you know, I decided when I was ready to learn. No one else decided that for me. Okay, so we're going up one of the hills not far away from where I live. I'm getting flashed by a VW, and he keeps flashing me probably because he wants me to go faster. The answer is no. The answer is genuinely no. GV55 WYY. He's literally driving quite close to me. But again, just like my father, I don't have any interest in speeding. I literally don't. Granted, when I very first passed my test, I almost got caught speeding. But I thought to myself, well, what's the point? You're just going to ruin yourself, ruin your car. And you could say I got, well, not traumatised, that's the wrong word, but you could say I got put off the entire idea of speeding when I had a Mini 1. And what I did was, I thought I could go at the speed limit. I thought that it would be fine. And I thought that driving at 40 around a bend as sharp as the one that's coming up, right, hang on a sec, we're driving at 40 now, was a sensible plan. It's not. I came off the road and I think I might have apparently according to the person who repaired the Mini, he said I had severed the fuel line, so I was very lucky it didn't catch fire on the way home, and you know, that kind of thing. I mean, I'll demonstrate it if the next bit of road is clear, not if there's any traffic on it. So, okay. Well, we're just travelling up to 40. Now we're at 40. Okay. I'll show you what the road says you should be able to do. Okay. This is 50 miles an hour now. Of course, this is not the speed of which the road says you should be able to use it. But it's 10 miles an hour slower than what they say you should be flying down it at. And I'm like, no. The answer is no. Why fly down the road at that sort of speed if when you come out the other end, you're going to smash into something? You know, it's very, very, very important that you don't speed. Because if you speed, you're going to smash into something. I mean, what did, what was it called? Yeah. What did Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog teach us back in the 90s or whenever it was? It was basically a TV series that was on the TV when I was growing up. And it showed one of the characters basically getting the same ability that Sonic himself had, and he almost broke his legs. He luckily didn't, because Sonic was the one to tell him it doesn't matter how fast it does matter. It does matter how fast you go, because if the situation decrees it, then of course you can go quick. But if you go too quick, you can end up injuring yourself, injuring others, and that's something that doesn't sit well with me. So it's not too bad on insurance, because I'm moving topics, and that car behind is still flashing me, and I'm getting quite pissed off. So, and that's another thing. You can't let your emotions cloud your judgment. You seriously can't. If you let your emotions take control of you, you'll do really, really silly things that will cause you or people around you heartache and pain. Which is not something I want to do, unfortunately. You know, down this hill here, I could really easily fly around this Enterprise rent-a-van, but I'm not going to. Well, partly because there's a Ford van coming towards me, but partly because it's too risky. If you're wondering what sort of car I'm driving, it's an automatic, because I was learning in a manual initially, but then I started learning in an automatic about, I guess, almost halfway through my manual lessons, and I thought this seems like a more easier way of getting to learn to drive, so I took the option. Now my mother seems to believe that driving was the worst thing to happen to me, and I disagree. If I didn't have my driving license, I wouldn't have been able to do the things I've done or go to the places I want to go to. One day, of course not straight away, but one day when the situation in the world is better, and one day when everyone's allowed to go everywhere and everything's cool again, then I want to take, who knows, this car, maybe a different car, over to France or maybe even Belgium. Now that will be a trip and a half, because I'll have the dash cam on, I'll have all sorts of things ready for it, and I'll get as much information from my father as possible, because he's driven all the way around Europe, so he knows, well, nearly all the way around Europe. He knows the routes, he knows what they drive like, and so on. So oh, hang on. There we go. Okay. So this is my this is a place called Town End. Sounds really odd, doesn't it? Because it's not even at the end of the town. But yeah, I find so much pleasure in driving. I really do. I find it really helps me relax. If I'm stressed, I'll go for a drive. What is the consequence to that? There is none. Like I say, the reason I started up these videos in particular was because I wanted to post videos of people driving UK roads, because I keep seeing a lot of American videos on YouTube of all sorts of different cars and so on, and I keep seeing a lot, and I mean a lot, of people basically driving like idiots and in sports cars and all sorts. That's not real life. That's nothing like real life. This is where I live, so I might cut this bit out, but actually it's not a problem. I'm sure they wouldn't mind, but if I see someone on the camera, then I'll obviously delete it from that point. So yeah, it's quite a good day today. I didn't go and get the bottles of drink that I was planning to, but that's just life, isn't it? Alright, so anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead. Like I said in the previous video, if you feel up to it and you want to, please like the video, and if you enjoyed it, that is, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this and me rattling my brain off every now and then. Or if you want just music, just put like a comment saying, I just want music or something. I don't know. Anyway, take good care, and I will see you all soon. Later.